Do you want your brand to stand out from the crowd and be instantly recognizable by your audience? Creating a visual identity is key to achieving this goal. Your visual identity is the face of your brand, and it sets the tone for how your audience perceives you. I'm Bearded Nova for Elevated Media Group, and let's take a deep dive into the world of visual branding and show you how to create a stunning visual identity that will leave a lasting impression for your audience. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification so you don't miss out on any videos that could help boost your content creation career. If you haven't seen part one already, make sure you click up here and watch this first before continuing with this video. Identifying your brand personality and values is the first step in creating a strong visual identity. Your brand personality is essentially the human characteristics that you want your brand to be associated with. Do you want your brand to be playful or serious, modern or classic, edgy or traditional? These are important considerations that will help you establish a brand personality that resonates with your targeted audience. Your brand values, on the other hand, are the principles and beliefs that guide your brand. They define what you stand for and what you want to achieve. Think about what is most important to you and what kind of impact you want to have on the world. This will help you develop a set of values that are true to your brand and meaningful to your audience. By creating your brand personality and values, you'll be able to create a visual identity that effectively communicates your brand. This will help you establish a consistent look and feel across all your marketing materials, build brand recognition, and ultimately connect with your targeted audience on a deeper level. So take the time to define your brand personality and values. It's the foundation for building a successful brand. Next part is choosing the right color scheme for your visual identity. It's a critical step in building a strong brand. Color can evoke emotions and help your audience connect with your brand on a subconscious level. Consider the psychology of color and how different colors can affect people's perceptions on your brand. For example, blue is often associated with trust and reliability, while green is associated with growth and renewal. Think about the emotions that you want to invoke in your audience and choose the color that aligns with these emotions. It's also important to consider the combinations and how they work together. Do you want your color scheme to be visually appealing and easy on the eyes? Consider using complementary colors to create a cohesive look and feel. Remember, your color scheme will be used across all your marketing materials, from your logo to your website to your social media posts. So take the time to choose the right colors for your brand. It's a small step, but it has a huge impact on how your brand is perceived by your audience. For my personal brand, Bearded Nova, I went with teal. Teal is often associated with calmness, stability, and trustworthiness. It's a combination of blue and green. Teal is often used for brandings in businesses that want to convey a sense of reliability and dependability. Teal is also associated with creativity and self-expression, making it a popular choice for brands that want to convey a sense of innovation and uniqueness. It can be used to add a pop of color to brand identity. In terms of emotions, teal is thought to invoke feelings of relaxation, balance, and harmony, but it's also associated with feelings of sophistication and elegance, making it popular for luxury brands. The next step is selecting the right type of typography for your visual brand, and it's crucial for establishing a consistent look and feel across all your marketing materials. Typography refers to the style, size, arrangement of letters, and characters. It can have a significant impact on how your brand is perceived by your audience. When choosing typography for your brand, consider your brand's personality and values. Do you want your typography to be bold and modern, or classic and traditional? The style of your typography should align with your brand. It's also important to consider legibility and readability. Your typography should be easy to read and understand, even at smaller sizes. Avoid using over-oriented fonts that can be difficult to read or fonts that are too small or tightly spaced. Finally, consider how your typography works with all your other visual elements, such as your color scheme and graphics. Your typography should work harmoniously with these elements and create a cohesive and visual appealing look and feel. By taking time to choose the right typography, you can create a visual brand that effectively communicates your brand identity and resonates with your targeted audience. For my brand, I ended up using font called Cabin. I really enjoyed it when I found it. It was similar to Oswald, but it had a little bit of a twist, still sharp and very modern. It had a very crisp feel to it. And that's what I wanted to invoke when it came to matching up with my teal. something that just looked really visually appealing together, especially when I added the black shadowing and backgrounding for the videos when it popped up. Next part I want to talk about is designing your logo. It's one of the most important steps in creating a visual brand. Your logo is the visual representation of your brand, and it's often the first thing your audience sees when they encounter your brand. When designing your logo, consider the overall aesthetic of your brand. Your logo should be cohesive with the rest of your visual identity so far, including your color schema and your typography. Think about the message you want to convey and the emotions you want to evoke with your audience. It's also important to choose the design that's memorable, easily recognizable, unique, and stand out from a crowded market. Avoid using generic designs or stock images that may be similar to other logos. Finally, keep in mind your logo is going to be used across a variety of different mediums, from your website to your business cards to your social media posts to merch. Make sure your logo is scalable and looks good in different sizes and formats. By taking the time to design a thoughtful and memorable logo, you can create a visual brand that effectively communicates your brand identity from a distance and in a heartbeat. When it came to building the Bearded Nova brand, I wasn't the most creative person, and I wanted to make sure it still had a professional feeling. I reached out to a creator on Fiverr, and he specialized in simplistic logos. So when it came to Bearded Nova, I really wanted something that was very plain, avoiding the generic three-tone mascot look that you see on most content creators and streamers, because when you line them all up together, they all look the same. There's nothing that pops out and stands, but then when you add an extra logo into the mix, it just changes everything and you stand out from the crowd. And that's what I wanted. And at the same time, I needed it to be scalable. So as you can see, it's here on my hat. It's a small logo, but if I turn it around, it's a big logo. It printed well on cups. The font choices, everything went well with what I wanted. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I envisioned my brand. So there you have it. Creating a strong visual identity is essential for building a successful brand. By following these key steps, you can create a visual identity that is effectively communicates your brand's personality and values. And remember to stay consistent and evaluate your visual identity regularly to ensure it remains relevant and resonates with your target and audience. Thanks for watching.